All right, so I'm going to do with 11, start with 11. So our objective here is to clear the denominator so we don't have to worry about working with fractions. Although honestly, we should. But let's give it a shot anyway. So distributive property first, right? I want to get rid of the parentheses. So we get 7 over 2 n plus 3 over 2 n, because 3 over 2 times 1 is just 3 over 2, equals 3 over 2. The LCM, look at your denominators, they're all 2. So the LCM of 2, 2, and 2 is just 2. So I take each part of my equation, multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. If you multiply by 2, you'll notice you're going to have 7n left over, plus 3, equals 3. Now this becomes your everyday equation, right? So I have a variable called n, it's being multiplied by 7, I add 3, and somehow it gives me 3. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and then I'm going to divide 7 to both sides. So let's see what that gives me. Step 1, subtract 3, subtract 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. I don't need to put that because I'm going to bring 7n down. On the other side, 3 minus 3 is 0, but on this side I have to put a 0 because otherwise there's nothing there, there's no number. So there we go. 0. Second step, divide by 7, divide by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, and 1n, or 1n, and n equals, and 0 divided by 7 is 0. So this one is beautiful. Anytime you get a 0 as your answer, it makes your check so much easier. So n equals 0. Let's copy the original equation. 7 over 3, and I'm going to put times 0 plus 1 equals 3 over 2. 7 over 3 times 0 is 0, so that goes away. So inside the parentheses, you're just left with 1. And 3 over 2 times 1 is just 3 over 2. Okay, so that's it. Number 12 might be a little bit more steps, but shoot, I need my glasses. 3 or 5, I think that's a 5. 5 over 2, x plus 2/3 minus 1/3 x. So this one has a little bit of everything. So first step, let me get rid of those parentheses before I find the LCM. So I get 41 over 9. Multiply these two, I get 5 over 2x. Multiply these two, I'm going to get simplified, right? And you should simplify. You're going to get 5/3 minus 1/3 x. Good. Now I can find the LCM. So we need to find the LCM of 2, 3, and 9. I mean, if you do it this way, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 9, 18. If you go through the times tables, you'll notice that 18 is the first multiple that they all share in common. So that means that we're going to take the 18 and we're going to multiply every part of the equation times 18. That times 18, this guy times 18, this guy times 18, and this guy times 18. And what's going to happen is we're going to get rid of our denominators. So this is going to give me 82. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45x. 18 divided by 3 is, so we have, let me just take that as an example. We have 18 times 5 over 3. So you can do 18 times 5 in your head and then divide it by 3, or if you want, you can do 18 divided by 3, which is 6, and then times 5. I think that's easier. Well, that's what I'm doing here. I'm dividing 18 divided by 3, I get 6, and then times 5 gives me 30. 18 divided by 3 is 6, and then times 1 is 6, and then that's how I get my answers. Over here, I did 18 divided by 2, which is 9, and then I multiplied by 5. Okay. So now we are in the world that you know, which is equations, right? Everything you did in your quiz comes back to play. So now I look at it and I start my process. 1, distributive property. No. 2, combine like terms. Yes. On this side, I can combine this guy here, 45x, with this guy. And that's going to give me 39x. And plus 30. And now 3 says, is there a variable on both sides? No. If there's not, then I'm going to go to step 4, which allows me to do my little story. So I have a variable called x is being multiplied by 39, add 30, divide, and equals 82. The inverse operation is going to be minus 30 and divide by 39. So minus 30 first on both sides. That goes away. 39x comes down, and then 82 minus 30 is going to be 52. And then we're going to divide both sides by 39. We're going to divide both sides by 39, and x equals 52 over 39. Yeah, you're going to get answers that are not nice whole numbers, which is okay. So now I do my check. In my check, I'm going to replace wherever I see x, I'm going to replace with 52 over 39. So 41 over 9 equals 5 over 2. Parentheses, and let me put that in. Let me leave that as empty space for now. Minus 1/3, and then let me do it in red. So everywhere I see the x, I'm going to replace it with 52 over 39. So 41 over 9, and I am going to cheat and use a calculator. And then I'm going to put all that, and let's see what I get. So I'll do it in parts. Okay, so this is 5 over 2. And inside, I'll just do it. This is 39. Right? I'm going to pretend I don't have a calculator. This is 26 minus 1 second. This is going to give me, simplify, 4 over 9. So all this is going to be 4 over 9. Let's go 41 over 9. And again, you're going to have a calculator, so all these you might not need to do. We're going to get 78 over 39 minus 4 over 9. 41 over 9, and because I'm too lazy to use a calculator. We're going to multiply these two. Let's see, that becomes 2, and that's 39, and this is going to be all just 5, so we're going to get 5 minus 4 over 9, and that equals to 4 5/9, which, by the way, is exactly the same as the other side. So my checked work. So you might be very thankful you have a calculator there. We are on, that was 12, I believe. Yeah, that was 12, so now we're moving to 14. 1/3 negative 7/4 over k, times k plus 1 minus 10 over 3k equals negative 13 over 8. So I'm going to do the distributive property right here, and then we're going to find the LCM. So that's positive times a negative, which is a negative. It's going to be 7 over 12k, and then positive times a positive. It's just 1/3. 1/3 times 1 is 1/3 minus 10 over 3k equals negative 13 over 8. Find the LCM. We're going to find the LCM of 12, 3, and 8. You're going to do that on your calculator, or you're going to do it longhand. Right? What's the first multiple that shows up in all three times table? Well, the first one that's going to show up is 24. So the LCM is 24. We're going to take that 24 and multiply every single. We're going to take this guy multiply by 24. We're going to take this guy multiply by 24. Take this guy multiply by 24, and take this guy multiply by 24. Let's see what's left over. So we're going to have negative 14k. It's going to be plus 8 minus 24 divided by 3 is 8 times 10 is 80. Okay. 24 divided by 8 is 3, and 3 times 13 is 39, negative 39. That's what my equation looks like without any denominators, any fractions now. So combine like term, yeah, I can do this and this. I get negative 94k plus 8 equals negative 39. Well, we can do this. Those of you who variables k, it's being multiplied by negative 94. Add 8 to it, and then it gives me negative 39. So we're going to do minus 8 to both sides and divide by negative 94 on both sides. Minus 8, minus 8. And that's going to give me negative 47. This goes away, negative 94k. We're going to divide both sides by negative 4k. Sorry, negative 94. And this side by negative 94. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and the positive 1 times k is k. And 47 divided by 94 is just exactly half. You can write 1/2, or you can write 0.5. Okay, whichever. So now you gotta go back to your original equation. 1/3 minus 7 over 4. Now notice that. Let me just write the thing, minus 10 over 3 times equals negative 13 over 8. So you either write 0.5 or a half. I'm going to choose to write a half. So wherever k was, I put a half, and I'm going to put a half here. And then obviously this is more of a calculator job. Go ahead and do that. I don't have I do, but let's see if I can do this without a calculator. So negative 7 over 4 times a half is going to be negative 7 over 8 plus 1 minus, and that's going to be 5, negative 5 over 3. And then again, I'm going to continue. And again, you don't have to do all this because you're going to have a calculator. So we have 1/3 times 1 over 8 minus 5 over 3. Let me erase this guy here. And I get 1 over 24 minus 5 over 3 equals 13, negative 13 over 8. 1 over 24, what is that? 24, 40, negative 13 over 8. So what do we get here? Negative 16 over 24? No, I did something wrong. Give me a second. 1/3, 7 over 8 times over 2 plus 1 close parentheses minus 10 divided by 3. Did I do that part? Times a half. And equals, oops. Yeah, there's something wrong over here. It's positive half. One and 5/8 should be my answer. And I'm not getting that for some reason. I mess up. Let me just double check. 7, 12k, that's okay. 1/3, that's okay. Minus 10 over 3k, that's okay. The LCM was 24, right? 24 and 12 is 2 times 7 is 14. It's 8. Then 80. $39, apologies. Negative 99, no, 39, 8. Good. So my answer looks good. But I'm doing something in the check. So This is number 14. -7, -8 plus 1, -10 times k, which is a half. So that is 5 and 3. Okay, that's okay. 1/8. Show where I'm going. -39/24. No, actually good, guys. Oh, I don't know why I'm doubting myself. Okay, so if I subtract this, I get -39/24. Oh my god. And divide by 3, I'm going to simplify 39/24. If I divide 39 by 3, I get 13. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. Sorry, 24 divided by 3 is 8. So I was right. Everything's good. Sorry. And again, if you put all that in your calculator, which I didn't, then I had a shorter video. 15. 55/6 equals -5/2, 3/2p minus 5/3. Okay, let's do your property. So this times this, it's going to be -15/4p, right? Because the negative times the positive is negative. 5 times 3 is 15, and 2 and 2 is 4. Then negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 5 is 25, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So now I have to find the LCM of 6 and 4, right? Only two different numbers. The LCM of 6 and 4 equals 12. Now I get to multiply this guy by 12, multiply this guy by 12, and multiply that guy by 12. 12 times 55/6 is just going to be 110. 12 times -15/4 is going to be 3 -45p. And then 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 2 times 25 is 50. And that's what I'm going to work with. I have a variable p, which is being multiplied by -45. I add 50 to it, it gives me 110. I'm going to do -50 on both sides and divide both sides by -45. So let's do that. -50, -50. That goes away. 110 minus 50 is 60. -45p. I divide that by 45, and I divide that by 45. So it's going to be, oops, -45. So p equals -60/45, which I'm going to simplify. I'm going to divide top and bottom by 60, and I'm going to get -4/3. So that's my answer. I simplify. Now I need to go back to my original equation, which is 55/6 equals -5/2, 3/2 times, and now put in parentheses, -4/3. That's what I substituted, right? And then subtract -5/3. So hopefully those two sides are equal, and then let me highlight my substitution. This is where I substituted. So 55/6 does absolutely nothing. -5/2, and in here I'm going to multiply these two. If I multiply these two, this two cancel out, and I'm left with -2 minus 5/3. Okay, so -2 minus 5/3 is just simply -3 2/3. Right, so 55/6 equals -5/2, and this becomes -3 2/3. Yeah. And then you get to multiply that. Okay, so I'm going to actually change it back to a mixed number, to a whole number, improper fraction. Sorry. -3 2/3. It's going to be 11/3. Right, that's going to be -11/3. That's another way of saying it. So now I get to multiply. Negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 11 is 55. And then 2 times 3 is 6. So my left side equals my right side. And again, all this part over here, this whole part over here, you could just enter in your calculator. 16, last question. Negative 1 over 2. 2/3 x minus 3/4 minus 7 over 2 times x equals negative 83 over 24. Oh, come on. If you can do this one, there's nothing you have to worry about. So, distribute it properly. I get negative 1/3 x, right? If I multiply these two. After I simplify, I get negative 1/3 x. Negative and negatives are positive, and I'm going to get 3 over 8 minus 7 over 2x equals negative 83 over 24. All right, now I need to find the LCM of 2, 3, 8, and 24. And it just happens that the LCM is 24. So I'm going to take everybody and multiply by 24. Take this guy, multiply by 24. Take this guy, multiply by 24. Take this guy, multiply by 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8 times 1 is negative 8x. So that's what I get for the first one. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So I get plus 9. Minus 24 divided by 2 is 12. And 7 times 8 is 84x. And 24 divided by 24 is 1. And 1 times 83 is going to be negative 83. So that's what I have left over. So, no more fractions. Let's see if there's combined like terms. I can combine this guy and this guy. And I get negative 92x plus 9 equals negative 83. We can finally get to this part here. Variable x is being multiplied by negative 92. Add 9 gives me negative 83. So the two inverse operations we're going to do is subtract 9 and then divide by negative 92. So let's do that. Minus 9 on both sides. Minus 9, minus 9. Positive 9 minus 9 becomes 0. Negative 92x comes down. And then over here I get negative 92. Divide now by negative 92. Divide this side by negative 92. Negative and a negative is positive. And 92 divided by 2 is 1. And 1x or just x. And then on this side is 1 as well. So x equals 1. Beautiful. So we're going to go back to our original equation. And everywhere you see x, you're going to replace it with 1. So negative, let me make a line here. And we had negative 1/2, 2/3 times 1 minus 3/4 minus 7 over 2 times 1 equals negative 83 over 24. Let me simplify that a little bit. Negative 1/2. So this is just 2/3. 2/3 times 1 is just 2/3. Now we got to do 2/3 minus 3/4. 2/3, oh, you know what, I'm too lazy now. 2/3 minus 3/4, is that what it is? It's going to give me negative 1 over 12. Minus 7 over 2 times 1 is just 7 over 2. We're going to multiply. Negative times negative is a positive. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 12 is 24. Minus 7 over 2. Sorry, equals negative 83 over 24. Equals negative 83 over 24. So now you get to subtract these two. And let's make sure it equals to negative 83 over 24. Let me make one more line. The LCM between 24 and 2. So if you remember, we can't subtract fractions that have different denominators, so I'm going to change them so they have the same denominator. 2 times 12 is 24, so I'm going to multiply this times 12 on top, which gives me 84. 1 minus 84 is indeed negative 83 over 24, and that's my check. Okay, so not that bad. It's a lot of work, yes, but it's stuff you already